So in this segment, we're going to be discussing this absolute clown, who doesn't understand the EU, who thinks the EU are trying to bully us, etc. It's just, wow, this man's absolutely deranged. You can see how he got a channel on a thing on Talk TV. This is honestly embarrassing.
Oh, we rely on them for our food. We need them. Is this really how you want to live your life, Liz?
We need them to feed us. And that's the reality. That's what Brexit means.
No, we don't.
It's true, we do, because we import a significant amount of food from the EU. Yes, we can try and import it from other countries, but they have typically lower standards than us, so you run into all sorts of problems when you import it, especially for perishable goods, because geography is a problem. I know geography is a problem for Brexiteers, and they need to pull out a world map, an atlas. Google Maps is free.
Sovereign!
What is the matter with you? Show a bit of independent spirit. No one is.
Can you feed yourself without food? Show some independent spirit. Go starve yourself. Don't eat anything, and see how that goes for you, Chief. Show your independence. Go in a field and work for your food. Show some independent spirit.
No one is ever going to be hungry in this country, and no one is ever going to have to worry about the idiots in Brussels changing their rules just to screw us up because of Brexit.
That's nonsense, because the EU typically change stuff based on safety grounds. That's why they want to reduce the amount of arsenic in baby food, because arsenic's I think is a carcinogenic, and you don't want babies to eat foods that are rich in carcinogenics, do you? Also the idea that no one in this country will go hungry or whatever. Like, people have died of starvation because of things like austerity and things like that. That's been well documented. So to make this argument people won't struggle for food is just nonsense when people are already struggling for food because of the Conservatives.
It's obvious.
Do you really believe that in the EU Parliament they sit there going, "Oh, what can we do now?"
Yes, I do. I do believe that. Yeah, I do.
This is the saddest geezer ever. A bunch of politicians in the EU Commission and in the Parliament going, do you know what, guys? Instead of dealing with Russia invading Ukraine and all the other global issues, what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to annoy the British, or how to annoy the English. Honestly, this is the most. It's just the. Wow, I struggle for words. Honestly, it's just so arrogant to think that the other sort of EU member states are thinking about how they can trigger us and things like that. Honestly, it's just mad. Especially when if the EU makes their rules on foods tighter, it doesn't impact our imports; it impacts our exports. So we can still import the food from the EU the same. So this man's talking absolute drivel.
Next.
Liz,
escape from the shackles of your chains. Fly free.
Britannia Unchained. How did that go for you, Chief?
Be independent. Don't worry. We can survive without.
Believe in Britain. Believe. That's what you have to do. Show your spirit. Show the unicorns will appear.
Without Brussels. We can make it, Liz. I know we can.
Many farms are going bust. Our food is shrinking like tomorrow. It's not a joke.
Yeah, we're struggling for staff. That's a side effect of Brexit. The energy crisis that farms, predominantly not farms, businesses are facing because the government isn't offering a ton of support. That's partially because of Brexit. We're outside the EU's internal energy market, things like that. The currency fluctuations are not helping when it comes to us importing energy. There are some of these. The energy crisis, I think, is fueled more from greed than anything, but Brexit is playing a part in that. So this is not a joke, guy. These farms are closing down because it's not viable for them, because they don't have the staff and the energy costs are too high. The fertilizer, I think that's a direct side effect of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but some of the other effects of Brexit are really impacting the farms to the point where it's just not viable for them. One guy had to get rid of his organic beetroot crop because there was no one to buy it, because typically someone in the EU would buy it, and they ain't buying it no more.
And when
we can rejoin, eh? Let's rejoin, shall we?
I wish we could. I wish it was that easy. But this guy, he's just arrogant and he's just smarmy as hell. Honestly, this is just. He's like a child, isn't it? He's like a child. He's petulant. Honestly, he's there to. I think he's there just to annoy people and try and get clicks, because he's trying to trigger the libs. That's what this guy is.
Well, when we're hungry,
what about the majority of people? What about the majority of people who voted to leave?
I'm not going to lie, bro. We had a poll on a day. A referendum is a poll on a day. Why don't we run it back and see what happens? Run it back and see if people want to rejoin. Because I guarantee you, a lot of people changed their minds and the demographics have changed. And some of the people who didn't get to vote in the last one will be able to vote in this one. Why don't we run it back, big guy? See how the country feels.
Brexit is on a bed of lies. Everything about
Liz,
it
I
is
didn't get you on to give me a Labour Party political broadcast.
The Labour Party aren't even in favour of us rejoining the EU, so he's talking nonsense. You know, you're saying things because you believe in the other party. Honestly, it's just tribal, you know, the footballification of politics on steroids. But this is a guy who's trying to be a court jester, honestly. The fact that this guy has a new show is just maddening.
But thank you very much anyway. Liz, I've got to move on. Good luck with you and your friend Keir Starmer and all your European fronts. You go over to Brussels and you will bow down to them and say, please can I have some food? Please can I have more, please? But good to talk to you, Liz. Thank you very much.
He loses the argument. He gets absolutely clowned because she laughs at him constantly during this conversation, this debate, and then he runs away. You know, he runs away saying, "Oh, just bow down to your EU lords, and they'll give you food." It's just this is one of the worst clips I've seen in so long. Honestly, I've not seen a guy this unhinged for a good couple of years now, and it's just tragic that he has a big platform like he does. I don't know who the geezer is, honestly, his name, but it's just the fact that he's been given a mainstream show. It's just mad. Honestly, just mad. And it's just he's unhinged. He's unhinged. He needs to see a doctor about some medication potentially. But I'm not going to go any deeper than that. But she was stating facts. You know, British food is in decline. British farming is in decline. And so that means we're more reliant on imports, which is becoming more and more difficult because of the paperwork and things like that. She literally runs an organisation called Save British Food. You know, she's not going to beg the EU for food. She obviously wants Britain to be able to produce its own food, but that's not happening anymore. I think Brexit has played a large part in that. They've lost their export market, the farms. They're struggling to import the raw materials they need, partially because of Brexit. Things like that, and they don't have the staff to pick the stuff anyways, or to butcher and process, or to deliver their goods to the supermarket. You know, across the chain, the whole thing's been broken, and you got this absolute fraud. It's like, oh, go join Brussels then. Why don't you go to Brussels? It's just a thicko, honestly. This is like, when I think people in the EU, when they think about what is, you know, why is Brexit happening, it's because we have idiots like this who get media spots. Honestly, if we had like people who were decent and, you know, could actually form a sentence, an argument without being like, ooh, like that, we might have actually gotten somewhere as a country. But I think this country is going to decline because we've got frauds like him, who are given, you know, media positions and given a platform. But honestly, I'm going to leave it there before I lose my mind. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.